African Coffee Roasters is a company on a mission far greater than just roasting coffee. Founded in 2015, the company exists to produce the highest possible quality roasted coffee, while at the same time rewarding farmers with incomes commensurate to the hard work they put into producing this highly sought after commodity. I was privileged to have a chat with company CEO Mr. Jacob Esborg and his team, and here is what they had to say on how the company manages to thrive while still remaining grounded in its sustainability agenda. So we are here at Africa Coffee Roasters, and we've been warmly welcomed by the CEO. And today we are going to have a chat about what the company is doing, especially around sustainability. So I would like you to introduce yourself to us and where we are at today.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, and welcome once again. I'm Jacob Esborg. I'm Danish, and the company is also Danish-owned. 80% of the company is owned by a retailer in Coop, in Denmark called Coop, and 20% is an investment fund under the Danish Foreign Minister. But I'm Jacob. I've been working here for just about 3 years now as a CEO, and I have a background in Coop and also in retail. Most people in the coffee sector has a background in coffee. I don't. I have the retail background.
Oh, that is nice. So maybe you tell us, what kind of products does Africa Coffee Roasters produce?
Yes. We are a coffee roasters, as our name also claims. That means we buy green coffee from all over East Africa. We also actually buy a little bit of green coffee from Latin America to have a broader variety, and then we bring it here to the roastery here. We roast, and then we pack, and then we ship it to the export market. We are based in an export zone. That means we are obligated by law to export more than 80% of our products to the export markets, which is mostly in Northern Europe, Denmark, Finland, Holland, but also we have customers in Saudi Arabia, in Rwanda, a little bit here in Kenya, but most of our products are going to the Northern Europe. Right. And the products we do everything from what we will call basic coffee, a good ordinary coffee, to high level and everything in between. I think right now we have a variety of more than 120 different products, mostly private labels for different supermarket formats to business customers. So we do the ground coffee, we do the whole bean coffee, we also do the capsules here. So everything you basically see on the supermarket shelves, we can produce that.
So I'd want you to probably tell us, what is sustainability in the coffee sector and why is it important?
It is the sustainability in the coffee sector is important for several reasons, and it also for us it's a fun thing to discuss about sustainability, because most people they think sustainability is related to the environment. But for us it's a lot more than just the environment. The environment is a big issue, of course, but also related to people, but it also related to the finance aspect. And you can say for what makes us different from most of our competitors is that we are roasting here. That is unique. I know there's other roasteries here in Africa, but there's none who is exporting to the markets. So having the second most traded commodity in the world as coffee, and we try to keep the value here, is for us also financial sustainability. But if you look into the environmental sustainability, of course, and back to how many tons of volumes who are exported every year, of course, if you look from the farmers to the roasteries, whether they're here or in Europe or in the US or wherever they are, to the final customer, there's a whole value chain, and all of that part of the value chain is impact the environment. And we also have to look at every part of sustainability. So for us, it starts with the farmers. How can we help them to be more sustainable, use less water, get better yields, and so on? How can we improve the logistics, bringing the coffee around the world? which is a massive part of sustainability as well. How can we here as a roastery be more sustainable? How can we use more friendly packaging material? How can we decrease our utilities and be more efficient? And I think one of the good examples that Jane, who is our CSR manager, and her team has been working with is right now that 95% of all our waste in terms of packaging materials and etc., it is recycled. So that's a good example of how we look at sustainability.
Sustainability is really good, but then I would want to ask from a high-level point of view, who drives sustainability in businesses? Is it the customer or is it the business itself?
Yeah, those are good questions. Because I think if you look at sustainability, there's a lot of companies who have high ambitions about sustainability. And also the pressure from NGOs, governments, and of course also customers have a huge impact. And I think there is, we all run super fast. But the one thing we need to have in mind is that we can only grow and be more sustainability if we have products who actually are sold in the retail segment or wherever it's sold. And if you look at customers, there is a difference between what they are demanding and saying in sustainability and what they're actually buying. So for us, it is the customer who starts it. And we also need to understand what the customer demands in terms of sustainability, on pricing, on quality. And that's a balance. So for us, it is to balance our initiative going forward as the market can absorb it. Because I think we could do a lot more on sustainability right now. We could invest much more money in a lot of things, but it will also increase the price on the finished product at the end. And if we lose our volumes and our turnovers, then because of high pricing, then we will start seeing a decrease in sustainability instead. And so for us, it is the customer, but it's also a sanity check. How much are the customer willing to pay at the end price?
So what do you really see in terms of are customers willing to pay for the price that sustainability has to bring to the company?
Right now, we see the world is turning a little bit upside down, first by the COVID. Now we have the Ukrainian war. Now you see an inflation in Europe, in our main markets we have never ever seen before. In my time as a Dane, an inflation around 1% was super high. I know it's different in Africa, but in my time, an inflation of 1% is super high. Right now we see an inflation of 10%. So we also see a change of mix. So people want to buy more sustainable product, but they don't want to give up their coffee. And if the coffee is just from inflation increases 10%, they will change to cheaper products, for sure. And that's also what we see right now. So yeah, price, customers will determine the demand, and sometimes in good times it will go up and we will craving for more certifications, more sustainability, more traceability, etc. And that voice is coming down when money are short. Then we are okay with an ordinary product.
So how do you strive to strike that balance between being sustainable and still being avoidable?
We're taking small steps. We are still a small company compared to most of the roasters in Europe. I just saw that Nestlé, for example, and they will over the next 7 years invest $1 billion in sustainability. We are not there at all, not even close. So for us, it is to take the small steps in terms of, for example, as I explained earlier, that now we are 95% recyclable. We have different crowdfunding projects where we are looking at one farmer cooperative who will have an eco-pulper. So for us, it's a matter of investing more in sustainability as we grow, but not to be over-ambitious. Because at the end of the day, we can only finance our sustainability by selling more products. So small projects here and there, sometimes we can escalate them because we have more sales, and when sales are, as it is right now, in best case, a little bit steady, then we need to be less ambitious.
So I'd want to know probably what are some of like the biggest challenges that a company like this one faces when they're trying to become sustainable?
That's a good question. I think first of all is still related to get the customer to understand what it actually costs to be more sustainable. Because if right now we have probably utilized most of the things we can do here at the roastery in our processing, because we are so efficient as we are right now, and we also are recyclable of 95%. So the next step for us is the packaging material. But sourcing packaging material who are recyclable here in Kenya or in the African continent is either very, very difficult or it's very, very expensive. Then it means we need to import it, for example, for China or Italy, but that drives the prices way up. So I think to find the innovation for sustainability here in Africa combined with a price-friendly or competitive price who can still make our products competitive in the markets. That's the difficult thing, because we can import sustainability packaging materials, but that will just drive the prices tremendously high. So the challenge is to be able to still compete and drive this sustainability agenda.
So now I'm trying to look at a situation where maybe a company probably has Africa Coffee Roasters as their model company in terms of sustainability. What would your message be to them when they're trying to take on this path of sustainability?
My message to them will be look at the end of the value chain. Look at the customers, because if you don't have the customers, if you don't understand the customers, forget about everything. There's a lot of company, I believe, who are thinking from the inside and out, which is wrong. You need to think outside and in. So understand the market, understand the customers, understand your products, what value do they drive in the market. And then you work backwards. What can you do along the value chain? What is realistic? Where can you improve easily? Because you can easily do a matrix who says this is super, super difficult and it's also super, super expensive. Maybe it's not where you should start. But along the value chain, you will also find things who say, okay, we can do that simple. We are in control of it ourselves. Let's do it. So instead of being too ambitious, be ambitious, break it down into small pieces, and then work slowly, day by day, to improve your sustainability.
What do you think the future holds for this industry that the company operates in? And actually, probably I rephrase it. What do you think the future holds for your organization and the industry that you guys are in right now?
But the future, for sure, will contain a lot more sustainability. The climate is affected in every way, from farmers to where our customers living. So I think the future holds a lot of innovation, and I think we talked about Nestle before. They will, of course, because of their muscles, also financially muscles, drive an innovation. And I think we will see a lot more innovation going towards sustainability and climate. Maersk, for example, who is one of the biggest shipping companies in the world, has just invested in, I believe it's 25 new vessels who runs on sustainability energy. So I think being the second most traded commodity in the world, there's also a lot of pressure for every part of the sector and the industry to get more sustainable than we were yesterday.
I think now for your company, do you have any short-term goals that you guys probably, or projects that you guys want to implement in the sustainability front?
Yeah, one of the goals we have is to be CO2 neutral in 2030, I believe. And for us to start looking into how can we do that. That is one of our biggest projects, and I think Jane will talk more about that. But if we could get to a point where we could be CO2 neutral, or maybe CO2 positive, that will be something also our customers would appreciate, besides the climate.
Thank you very much for having to welcome here and for your time and this morning. I think
You're
that would
welcome.
be all.
Thank you for coming.